Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all. Welcome to the International Internship University IIU. So I am thrilled to be your trainer and a resource person for today's session on how entrepreneurship can be propagated in academia. So that's basically, the session for today. Building a startup ecosystem in academia. That's the session. And this session is actually, a golden opportunity for the students, for educators, for counselors, for parents and students alike. So I'm Dr. Subrata Chattopadhyay. I'm a professor at Institute of Engineering and Management in Kolkata, in India. And I will be conducting this session for 5 days. So this will be a 5 days development program. And thanks to the visionary Mr. Piyush Panditji, sir, and IIU, where here we equip you with the skills and the knowledge that will truly empower you. Our goal is to ensure that no one is deprived of education and skills, fostering a world filled with capable individuals. I'll come to the topic, as I said, that building a startup ecosystem in academia. So without further ado, let's kickstart the today's session and explore the fascinating world of how an entrepreneurship ecosystem can be built in academia. So get ready to enrich your skills and broaden your horizons. So starting off, let me tell you that in academia, the students were there, the stakeholders were there. So stakeholders in the form of students, their parents, the teachers, right? So there is a perception that when you are actually carrying on your curriculum, you actually prepare yourself so that you can work either for the government or work for some private organization and actually work for someone. But when we talk about the ecosystem change and the change in the perception from working for someone mindset to making someone work for you, it is a paradigm shift in the entire teaching learning process. How do you bring about this change? How do you bring about an ecosystem wherein the startup environment can be nurtured, can be propagated, can be implemented, so that there can be people who can actually not do a job for someone, but be capable of delivering jobs. I'll ask you a question straight away. Which gives you more satisfaction? Working for someone or making someone work for you? Now, if you are making someone work for you, what happens is you have your venture and you are actually managing other people. And when you are managing other people, say even if 10 people are working in your small organization. Now, these 10 people are working, they are getting paid. But you are sustaining, if I take a family size of 4, you are sustaining the lives of 40 people. Whereas when you are working for someone, you are actually a liability, and you are working so that their organization gains. Now, if it is your organization and if it is your brainchild, you have to nurture your own organization, and you have to see to it that the organization actually scales up and scales out. So it is your responsibility along with a team. Now, the first thing which comes over here when you manage people, when you manage resources, is that you have to learn first to manage yourself. So the question comes, are you ready to manage yourself? Can you take care of yourself? If you can take care of yourself, then you will be able to take care of several others. Because those who will be working in your own organization, they will be actually working for you, and you have to take care that they are getting the right resources at the right time, at the right price, and at the right place. So it is important to develop a mindset that how can you be proactive? And the first thing which comes in this is the ability to take initiatives. And the ability to take initiatives comes from your proactiveness. Are you proactive enough? Do you take on responsibilities? Or are you someone who enjoys at the backseat and makes or sits and enjoys other people doing work? So if there is a requirement, do you jump in to the opportunity? Are you a self-starter? You need to ask yourself. The other important thing is, other important thing is, when you are actually managing others and you have your own business, the very important thing is that you don't have a proper work time. So you don't have time when you start your work and the time when you finish your work. You are the master of your organization, and how your organization will sustain and build up is entirely your responsibility. But there are important takeaways which are there. And one is that when you are running your own organization, then first of all, you have the entire liberty to join your organization on a specific day or not. So you can take holidays at any point of time if you want, but then you have to take care that your organizational goals, your organizational vision and mission is not disrupted. Now, the other thing is that if you are running your organization successfully, you don't have actually a retirement life. And you can retire at any point of time. So if you want to enjoy your life, if you want to build up your passion into a startup, you have to develop that ecosystem in an organization, especially in an academia. There is a saying that if you want to start something, then you need to start early. Now, there is a myth that people, especially students in the academia, they are not in a position to start up on their own. To start up a venture, you need a lot of money. So these are myths. It actually needs a passion. It needs a product. So the passion on one side, the product on the other. You need to match your passion with your desire, your ambition, and you need to have a product. The product needs to have a fitment in the market. And if you have a good product which actually solves the problem in the market, then your product or service will actually sell. Now you see people in different professions, in different walks of life, people who are successful. You will be thinking that what happens if your venture fails? Now, I'll share with you a video and you will understand that people who have been successful around the world, they have actually failed many a times. Before I share the video, I want to take the example of Thomas Edison. I hope all of you have heard the name of Thomas Edison. Today that we are interacting, today there is light all around us. It is Thomas Edison who actually discovered the light. And you know how many times he failed? He failed more than 10,000 times. And he did not give up. When he was in school, his teacher told that he is not mentally fit enough to be in the class. The teacher called his mother and said that your son is not a proper fit in our school. So please take him home. And Thomas Edison did most of his studies in his home. But he never gave up. He failed 10,000 times. Can you understand? 10,000 times. And yet he never gave up. This is what is perseverance. This is what is passion. If you have a particular business idea, and if you believe that you can do it, you will be able to do it. The one thing is, you have to have the right attitude. You need to have the belief that you will be successful. If you have that, then there is no force in this world which will actually stop you. There are lots of examples. I'll take you through those examples itself. But before we do that, let me try and share my screen. Yeah. Just a minute. I think that was motivational enough. And there were a lot of examples of people who are successful, people who we know of, people who have made a lot of dent in their careers, and these are the people who have actually been successful. But one needs to understand that failure is the pillar of success. So you need to fail many times, you need to take initiatives, you need to uh, take on responsibilities, and then only you can succeed. So the best way of doing so, to starting up, is first of all, participate. So when I say participate, there are different events. So you can think about different events in your school or in your college, right? Wherein you have to do a lot of things. So say for example, you have to design first of all the program that you are thinking. So when I talk about designing the particular program, you need to understand whether it will be inter-college event, whether it will be intra-college event, who would be the participants, what would be their level of participation, what are the events that you are thinking of, how many days the event would run. So all these you have to take into consideration. The next important thing is that what would be the budget? How would you arrange for the funds? How would you get the participants? Who would be the ones that would judge the different events? Why will people join your event? Is a question that you need to ask. What will they benefit from your event? How will you manage your event successfully? What are the things, the micro and the macro elements that goes into successful launch and carrying on the event? Where would you do the event? What would be the infrastructure that is required for the event? Who will be the people who will be involved in the event? How will you manage them? How will you form teams? So you can see that you need not start off with a business. First of all, what you need to do is that you need to start off with different initiatives. And the word entrepreneur is a French term which comes from the word entreprendre, which means to undertake an activity. So if you are taking any activity on your own, that is entrepreneurship. A singer, a dancer, a performing artist are all entrepreneurs. So what you need to do is that you need to undertake different activities. And the next important thing is you need to understand also that what are the problems that are there. See, in life, at home, when we are coming from our home to our college, during our college, right? And in life itself, in general, you will find that there are different problems that the society encompasses. And we need to, first of all, identify the problems. We need to understand that what are the pains. If a particular competing college is undertaking a particular event or doing something, you need to also understand that how would you also, or how can you also utilize your resources and do better than them. Think about certain events which can actually build up on gains, ease on pains, and create value. So if you are undertaking the different events, the organizing different activities, then gradually you are sowing the seeds of entrepreneurship in yourself, because you are trying to do something by yourself, and that is the start of the entrepreneurship. And you will find that there needs to be a spark. Once that spark is there, that means some like-minded people, they agree to do a particular activity or event, then you will find that other people will also join in. Now, whenever you organize a particular event or activity, you will find that there are different types of people. There will be some people who will actually question the very rationale of doing the event. What is the purpose? What is the objective? What will I gain out of it? So these are people who are troublemongers. They will actually hinder the entire initiative. Now, people who will actually make your path arduous, please ignore them. Some people will try to help you from outside. Some people will try to help you positively. So these are the ones whom you can take in your team. Now, do you understand what is a team? A team is actually a group of like-minded people. The very, team is an acronym of T for together, E for each, A for achieve, and M for more. So together, each, achieve, more. And that's how a team nucleus should be built. So when you have a good team and each one has complementary abilities, then you know that what are the competencies that are there in the different members that you have in your team. And if those competencies can be nurtured and each one takes up their responsibilities and carry out successfully, then you will find that the team as a whole gains. Each one should be a catalyzing factor for the team. Each one has to support the other. If that can be done, then there is no force in the world which will stop your initiatives. So you first need to be an implementer, an organizer. So if you can actually organize the different events properly, if you can take in initiatives, then you will be a successful startup in the ecosystem of academia. So it is not only that you study the different subjects and you pass the exams, but you also need to understand that you have to do a lot of extracurricular activities. And believe you me, this extracurricular activities actually give you the idea of doing something new, doing something innovative, doing something which is different from others. And successful are those in life who actually take up the challenges, are not afraid of the failures, and can carry on their initiatives to a T. When I say T, T means perfection. That's what is the mantra for starting up. Now, when I talk about the ecosystem, there are some controllables and uncontrollables of the ecosystem, which I was already mentioned, but I want to mention about these controllables and uncontrollables of the ecosystem. So when I say controllables, these are the ones that you can manage, right? You can control. Say, for example, when you have already selected your own team and the team members individually do know who are responsible for what, these are controllables. When you have decided upon the event that you are going to organize and you are working on the different activities and the different factors and the different parameters and setting yourself deadlines for the same, then you know that things are manageable, things are controllable, but you don't have any control over the external environment. The internal environment is manageable. So the ecosystem needs to be developed in such a way that the manageables should actually surpass the uncontrollables. So there is something called, the PESTEL. What is PESTEL? The PESTEL analysis. The PESTEL P stands for the political environment. So if you are taking a particular initiative and there is some political intervention, or if maybe on that particular day some mishap happens and there is a strike or something like that, right? There is some sort of a political turmoil, then you don't have any control over it. Hence, it is an uncontrollable. Similarly, you have the macroeconomic and the microeconomic factors, which are also the part of the uncontrollable environment. Then you have the society. Now, if you are organizing an event or an activity or anything, then you don't have any control over the society. But then each organization has a role towards societal development and the societal ecosystem build up. So the society should gain a positive impact from the initiatives that you take. The societal benefit, the societal benevolence should be there. Then you have technology. So technological upgradation and the technological intervention, right? That may play a spoil sport. And that may hinder your initiatives. So these are uncontrollables. Then you have the ecological environment. And lastly, the L, that is the legal environment. So there will be uncontrollables in a system. There will be controllables in a system. And you have to manage with the controllables so that your venture, your activity, your event actually takes a strong scale. And this starts, as I said, with the different events and activities. The next important thing is that it is very important for the students, for the faculty, to not be limited within boundaries. So one has to move out of the comfort zone and eliminate the boundaries. So if you have the thought boundaries and you want to be within your comfort zone, you can never build a startup ecosystem. So you need to think out of the box. And when I say thinking out of the box, it means that you need to be different. You need to be someone who is not conventional. That is important. Now, having said that, once you take different initiatives, perform different activities, go for different events, you will see there is a lot of entrepreneurial work that you are doing. Why? Because you are managing all the resources. Resources in the form of the people, resources in the form of funds, money, resources in the form of the operations that you are undertaking, resources in the form of the materials, okay, and also you are, if you are doing it with the latest technologies, then also technology comes as a resource. So you are learning how to capitalize and how to optimize on the resources. Now, this is a fantastic learning because you are learning how to manage people, how to manage markets, how to manage finances. And that's what a startup also does. And when you are learning to think out of the box, that means you are sowing the seeds gradually of understanding the societal need. When I say societal need, you are actually doing a gap analysis. And this gap analysis is between the demand and the supply. So you need to understand what is already there and what is not there. Where is the gap? And if you can bridge the gap, that actually leads to an opportunity. So understanding, analyzing the different problems, and also coming up with different initiatives and activities is the crux of building an entrepreneurial ecosystem in the campus, in academia. So there is no age to it. Like the students, the freshers, they can also think and come up with something new. The faculty who are also entrepreneurial, they can also, come up with some innovative product idea. Now, once that idea is there, you need to do a lot of research. As I said, that what would be the market? Who would be the customers? Why will they buy? What would they buy? When would they buy? Where would they buy? How would they buy? And so on. You need to understand and analyze all these parameters. So today is the first day of the program. And today I have actually talked about the basic nuances of understanding the environment, the controllable and uncontrollable environment, and the baby steps that one can take towards building up a sustainable ecosystem of entrepreneurship in academia. We will have this session for 5 days, and we will be learning that how you can build up a startup ecosystem in your organization, in your academic environment. Tomorrow, I'll be discussing about campus companies. And when I say campus companies, it is about the ventures which the students have been successful in doing while in the campus. And you see, when you start up with a business idea and that idea is already a venture, that's a huge success, and that actually fuels the mission of taking it big, of scaling up and scaling out. So we'll learn how campus companies are formed and how ideas can be generated in the campus itself. So we'll learn about ideation and how that idea can be taken up to a sustainable opportunity. I'll also discuss about few of the cases of successful companies which actually started in campus, and today they have their presence in several countries across the world. So they are multinational companies now which actually started in campus. Okay, so that's all for today. I would like to thank Piyush Pandit ji, sir, the founder of International Internship University. I would like to thank Snigdha madam for giving me an opportunity, and I would like to thank, obviously, Inga madam, Dr. Inga Khachilova madam, for giving the opportunity, and to all of you, the students, the faculty, and all of you who are present. I would like to thank, and I would like all of you to be there for all the 5 days so that you can learn that how to build a startup ecosystem in academia. Thank you so much.